Welcome to Purpose. I'm your host, Corie Clark. I'm just a normal girl who decided to go for it. I created a thriving business from the ground up without sacrificing my sanity, and I believe that you can do the same. You were created on purpose, for a purpose, and I fully believe you can turn that purpose into profit. Each week, I'm going to bring you practical advice to help you live your life and grow your business on purpose. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Purpose. I'm your host, Corie Clark, and I am just so excited to jump back into another episode and share some practical tips, basically like 3 things that I think every business needs. And for some of you who maybe you've been in business for a while and you're already super successful, I don't want you guys to tune out because I just want you to be reminded of the importance of these 3 things that sometimes we forget about, like the magnitude that 3 very simple things can have in our business. So before we jump into today's show, I just wanted to share, I have really been enjoying reading your guys' reviews, and I thought I would go ahead and highlight one review each week. So if you haven't left a review yet, be sure you go into iTunes and leave a 5-star review. I love reading these. Not only does it just help me know like I am on course, I'm doing the right thing, but I love seeing what you guys think about the show. I love hearing, what some of your favorite parts are so that I know what content I need to keep creating. So this week's review that I'm going to share is from QMommy89, and she said, "Thank you. Wow, this podcast was everything I needed in this season. You are so encouraging and needed, Corie. I have been sitting in my dreams because of fear, time, and money, and I know God called me for so much, and I needed to walk in it. I can't wait to share this podcast with my friends. I pray this reaches millions of people in Jesus' name." Thank you so much, QMommy89. I love it, and I appreciate your feedback, and I hope it reaches millions as well. So you guys, like I said, go ahead and go into iTunes and leave me a review. Make sure you're subscribed to the show so you don't miss any episodes, like the bonus episode that came out last week. So if you happen to miss it, go back and listen to it. Okay, so today's show is brought to you by my free masterclass, 5 Secrets to a Purposeful, Profitable Business. So I'm holding this class twice this week. And if you're listening when the show releases on Tuesday, I am hosting the class tomorrow on Wednesday and on Thursday. So if you are listening to this on Tuesday when it comes out, go ahead and head on over to CorieClark.com/masterclass. That's CorieClark.com/masterclass. So if you're listening to this after I have done these live classes, then just head on over to CorieClark.com/waitlist so that you can see what's happening next. Okay, let's jump into today's episode. So I wanted to share some practical tips for people who either are just starting out their business, or maybe they have an idea that they're just kind of sitting on and they just don't even know where to start. And I have talked about it in previous episodes that you really just need to start. Action brings clarity, but sometimes people don't even just know what to do. So I want to talk about 3 things that you have to have, 3 things that I had when I started, and I'm going to kind of walk you through how they worked out for me. And I just want you to know that these will really work for any industry, or, if you're a coach, or if you're a blogger, or if you're a course creator, or if you're even a network marketer, whatever it is that you're doing, these 3 things are so important. So when I started out, the first thing I had was a blog. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a blogger to have a blog. You just, you need a website. You need a space that's kind of like your home base where you can refer people to, where people can find you, where your content is stored. I just want you to think of it as your house, and that's where all your stuff lives. It's where your content lives, your products live, your brand, everything about you lives on that website or blog, and it lives in that house. You have to have a space to send people to. You can't just be posting on Instagram and Facebook and hoping that people continue to see your stuff, and you won't always be guaranteed access to them through those channels. So you have to have your blog or your website. And I was blogging, and I had like an email opt-in thing on the sidebar. I wasn't even really trying to get people to sign up, but I kept hearing, oh, your list is so important. Your list is so important. I really didn't know what to offer people as an opt-in or a lead magnet. So that is the second thing you need, is you have to be building your list. And I definitely was not doing that. I was just blogging, which was great. I was getting traffic. I was getting comments. I would share my content on social media and was getting comments there. But what I did was, when I decided I wanted to write my book, I originally was just going to have it be an ebook. And then I decided, no, I'm going to go ahead and self-publish this. It is so easy to self-publish a book, you guys. So if you think you have a book in you, it doesn't have to be a novel. Like, it can just be a short little how-to book, or it could be a journal. It could be whatever you want. And I mean, I've seen people do like coloring books, adult coloring books or children's coloring books, and they can self-publish. And when I did it, it was through CreateSpace, but now it's merged with Kindle Direct Publishing. So I'm not really sure about the steps there because I just transferred my stuff over. Anyways, that's besides the point. What I'm saying is, if you have content that you can share with the world, creating a book or an ebook is such an easy way to, number one, build your email list, and number two, generate some income. So I moved from just having my little sign up for my newsletter thing on the sidebar of my blog to, okay, how can I actually get people to give me their email address so that when I publish this book, when I want to start selling it, I have people to actually sell it to. So the first thing I did was I actually created a blog post to test the idea of the book. And this is a great way for anybody to test any idea they have. And that goes back to why you need a blog in the first place. So I wrote a really high quality, value-packed blog post that really was basically going to be one of the chapters in my book. And I put it out there and asked what people thought. And the feedback I got on it was just insane. And people were commenting like crazy. Oh my gosh, you're speaking to my heart. Oh my gosh, I need this. Oh my gosh, I feel overwhelmed. I need this in my life. So that point right there, I was like, okay, people need this. I need to keep going. So from there, I wrote my book. Now, this book is not a huge, crazy book, but it's practical. It helps people. It's my story of how I simplified my life so that I could live more purposefully. And I wrote the book. It did not take a ton of time to write. And what I did was I actually put the book out there for free to build my list. I only did it for a few days. I shared on social media, sign up to get my book for free. It's the unedited copy. Let me know what you think. And that is how I started building my list. I put a Dropbox link up, sent it to the people who signed up. And then that Dropbox link took it down after, I told them how long they would have the book for. They had 30 days to read the book and let me know their thoughts. And they kind of became my launch team. Now, I definitely, if I was writing another book, would do my launch team like way more intense and put a lot more work into it. At that point in time, I did not know what a launch team was. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I did keep emailing these people and, I want to know what you thought of the book. And when it was time to launch, I emailed them, the book's out, share it with your friends, leave a review on Amazon, all of those kinds of things. But the point being is I gave value and got an email address. And from that point, those were the people that were buying my first copies of my book. Because when people find that connection with you, even though they had already gotten my book for free, they still wanted to buy the book to support me. And so that was just kind of a win-win. I really wanted to build my email list. I really wanted to give the book away. And then I ended up getting sales from those exact people who had gotten the book for free. So maybe you don't want to write a book, but what can you create that is a high value piece of content that you can give away to get an email address? Because when it comes down to it, you need people's email addresses. If you want to create some sort of offer or service or something to generate revenue, you have to have some email addresses to approach those people, to give them the offer. Okay, so number one, I had the blog, had the website, I had a place for my content to be shared, to get feedback from people. Number two, I created an email list. I created a lead magnet to get people's email addresses so that I can continue to give them content and to give them offers. And then the third thing is I shared on social media. And you're probably thinking, okay, Corie, we know that. But here's the thing. I shared and I shared and I shared some more and I shared some more. And I've never had anybody say, Corie, you talk about your book too much, or Corie, you talk about your planner too much. You have to put yourself out there. You have to let people know that you have a freebie on your website that you want them to sign up for, that you have an offer that is amazing and is going to change their life. If you are not constantly showing up on social media and sharing what it is that you have to give to your people, they are not going to know. They're not going to just say, oh, I wonder what Corie Clark's got going on our website today. I'm going to go check it out. Heck no. When's the last time you sat down and just looked at somebody's website for no reason? You probably saw a Pinterest pin or an Instagram post or a Facebook post or opened an email that told you to go to their site. So the reason I want you to think of social media as an important part to building your business is because it is. I have several coaching clients that have different businesses, and it literally comes down to that. And I say, you have to show up on Instagram. You have to tell people that you're doing this. You have to tell people you're selling this product. You have to tell people you have this service. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, I got all these sales. And it's like, it's not anything like massive and oh my gosh, this is this new secret. It's just something that we take for granted sometimes. And I am totally guilty of it because I'll get into this flow and it's like, okay, I have an email list, I have customers, I'm selling product, everything's just kind of on autopilot. But the thing is people aren't just going to find me. I have to keep showing up every single day and putting myself out there, letting people know what blog post to read, letting them know what freebie I have, letting them know what's for sale in the shop, letting them know what service I have, letting them know about the masterclass I'm doing next week. I can't just expect people to find me. And so when you have all three of these pieces, you have your website and you have content on there that's valuable, that people are going to opt in for. And then when you get into the rhythm of sharing that over and over and over on social media, you start to create this massive snowball effect. And it all sounds very simple and oh my gosh, I have all these email funnels now and I have all these strategies. But what it comes down to is it doesn't matter what new strategy you're trying. If you don't have the website with the valuable content and you don't have a way to get their email address and you don't put it out there, you could have the best funnel in the world and the best strategy in the world, but none of it will work if you don't have these three basic pieces. And I truly believe that having those three pieces is what led to my business growing and becoming successful and then maintaining over the last 4 years. So if you're just starting out, I just want you to take a deep breath and get your website started. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be beautiful. It just has to have something for people to read on there, something for them to watch, something for them to want to stay on that site and say, oh yes, take my email address because I want that free video series, or I want that free ebook, or I want that coupon, or whatever it is that you're going to offer them for their email address. And then share the heck out of it. Let everybody know what you're up to. If you don't have an email list yet and you don't have a following yet, then just start sharing it on your personal pages. Let your friends and family know, and don't be afraid. Just keep sharing, and then rinse and repeat. And your website's done. And all you have to do is keep coming up with good content. And you don't have to have content every single week, because if you have good content, you can keep repurposing that good content. You can take one blog post and turn it into like 10 Instagram posts. So don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't bang your head against the wall trying to come up with tons of new content. Less content, higher quality, and give people a reason to hand over their email address. All right, so that's it for today's show. I just really wanted to get back to the basics. I have so many people ask me, how did you start? What do I do to start? I want to sell this product, but what do I do? And truthfully, those are the first 3 things I tell people to do. Get your website, put some content on there, get email addresses, and share. And that's all there is to it. And you just keep going. So let me know on social media, on Instagram, tag me. Let me know where you're at in this game. Are you at the beginning? Are you doing these things and they're not working? Like, DM me and let me help you. I would love to see what you're doing while you're listening. So make sure you screenshot this episode, tag me in it, let me know what you think. And you can find all of these steps and then links to some of my favorite tools that I use to do these steps. You can find them all in the show notes. Just go to CorieClark.com/8 to see today's notes. And don't forget to join my free masterclass this week. If you're ready to really learn more about building a purposeful, profitable business, go to CorieClark.com/masterclass. Thanks so much for listening, you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes so you never miss an episode. And I'd love for you to leave a review. Tune in next week as I interview the amazing Jill Minton. She shares her story of taking the leap, opening up a brick and mortar, and now serving other female entrepreneurs by helping them learn to leap. Have a great week, you guys, and I will see you right here next week.